I'm about to show you exactly what to say to get them to say yes to talking to you, even meeting you and helping you. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact scripts and strategies to reach out to anyone and get them to agree to a conversation, ideally in person. And you'll understand why this approach gets responses when cold outreach usually gets ignored. So let's get going. Now, I've taught this framework to hundreds of graduates. They've used it to connect with CEOs, hiring managers, industry professionals, leaders who normally ignore cold messages. And the response rate is pretty high. It's about 60 to 70% when done correctly. And that's not luck, that's strategy. Now, messages that get responses have four critical elements. These are messages that do get a response. Number one, you have a warm introduction from someone they know and you know. A warm introduction from someone you both know. And they've asked if they'd be interested in meeting you. Pretty simple. So if I ask my neighbor, Vinny, who's right over there across the fence, hey, do you know anybody in this field? I'm looking to talk to them. And he thinks of someone. I want to make sure that I mention that my neighbor Vinny is their friend and that he reached out to them. They're going to go, oh, right. Yeah, I saw an email from Vinny. Oh, wow. You know Vinny. You want that to fire off in their brain. So here's element two. It's a specific low pressure ask. You're not asking for a job. You're not asking if they're hiring. That's what everybody else is doing. What you're asking is to interview them, to meet them. In person is ideal. You can do this over the phone. That works really well. It can also work over Zoom, but in person is the best. It's all about interviewing them to learn about their journey, their career, pull their story out of them. It's flattering and it makes a big difference. It actually has a magical superpower, and it's why I love this method so much. And then here's element three. Before you meet them, you want to do your research on them. So that way, when you meet them, your research can fall out of your mouth and it'll be acknowledging them in a way that demonstrates that you know something about who they are and what they do. And then element four, you want to be respectful of their time. You're going to acknowledge that they're busy and make it easy for them to say yes by being specific about what you're asking for, like 30 minutes is a reasonable amount of time. When you combine all these four elements together, you're going to transform from random person asking for favors into someone worth talking to. Let's talk about warm introduction. But before I get into that, let's back up for a second. Because remember, the best way to get a busy professional to agree to meet you is with a warm introduction given from someone in your network who knows them by asking the magic question. Now the referral has agreed to meet you and it's no longer a cold outreach. It's a two-step process. There's the direct ask, and then there's the indirect ask, and that's where you use the magic question. So here's the direct ask. For example, let's say you approached your neighbor, Mike Williams. Hey, Mike, I'm looking to get into the field of engineering, and I was wondering if you knew anyone. I'm looking to meet people so I can learn more about it and what's involved. Do you know anyone? Now, most people are going to say no. They'll struggle to think of anyone because you've asked them on the spot. That's why I call it a direct ask. They'll say something like, no, I can't think of anyone I know in engineering. In fact, my friend Vlad, he just asked me today, hey, Warren, do you know anybody in logistics? And I totally froze up and I was like, logistics? And I couldn't think of anybody. I couldn't think anybody to ask to know somebody just because of the nature of the direct ask. It's okay. You want to start with that direct ask. Here's what you say if they say no. They can't think of anybody. That's okay, Mike. If you think of anyone later, just let me know. Give me a call or text. Before I go, can I ask you one more question? By the way, they're always going to say yes because you just promised you're going to go. They can get back to their regularly scheduled life. And that's where you're going to do step two, the indirect ask or the magic question. And the magic question goes like this. Mike, if you were me, who else should I be talking to? This puts them into advice mode. That's why I call it the magic question, because the first one, the direct ask, is Hey, do you know anyone in engineering? And they're going to go into the library, kind of like inventory mode. But the magic question is asking, it's kind of has an advice angle to it. If you were me, who else should I be talking to, Mike? So it puts them in advice mode and they'll turn their head and they'll look up. That's what most people do. But they'll be in this, they're thinking and they're actually trying to help you. And they might say something like, wait, my friend Sarah, she does consulting with engineering firms and she'd be really great for you to meet. Actually, let me ask my friend Sarah. What you say next is this. Your friend Sarah? You think she'd be great for me to meet? Tell me more. You're just trying to wind them out and help them expound more on why Sarah. And then Mike proceeds, he's going to go off and he's going to go on and on about, oh, yeah, Sarah, she's great. She's hysterical. Like, they're going to go on and on and on. And these are golden details. Here's what you say next. Wow, Sarah sounds amazing. I'd love to meet her, but how would that even work? I mean, would you be willing to reach out to her on my behalf? That way, when I call, she'll be expecting my call and I won't be some total stranger. And if they agree, would you send an email introducing both of us and make sure you CC me? Now, they're going to be totally impressed because this is what people do in business all day long. And you're acting like a professional. This is awesome. It positions you. Next, Mike is going to reach out to Sarah. He's probably going to say, you know what, Warren, actually, that's a really good idea. That does make sense. I should be the one to reach out to her because it was his idea. And it's his relationship with Sarah. So Mike's going to reach out to Sarah to ask if she'd be willing to meet you. She's going to say yes or no. Now, she's more likely to say yes, or at least to want to say yes, because of her relationship with Mike. So you're borrowing the leverage of their relationship. Most people don't want to disappoint their friends and they want us to help them and support them, right? It's not a guarantee. She might be busy. She might be on travel for the next 2 months on the other side of the planet, or she might have something going on. She might even say, I'd love to help, but I'm busy. It would have to be 3 months from now in June. Well, that's a yes. If Sarah agrees to meet you, Mike's going to send the email and make the introduction. Now, here's how to follow up to confirm or set that meeting. All you have to do is reply to Mike's email, reply all, and schedule the meeting date and time location. There's one little caveat here. Email works great, but emails inboxes are noisy and cluttered. There's a lot of marketing messages that go in there. People often have multiple email addresses. I think I have like 7, right? So it's possible they might not see it. If I really want something to happen, I will email and I'll call them, or I'll email and text, or email and a LinkedIn message. You get the idea. Here's the exact script when you have a warm introduction. Here's what this looks like. Subject, Mike Williams suggested I reach out to you. See, you want to include the name of the person who's connecting you. Think of it. They're scanning through their email inbox, going like, oh, how do I get to inbox 0? I hate email. Which of these emails should I look at? They're looking at subject lines. And they're going to see Mike Williams suggested I reach out to you. Hi, Sarah. My neighbor Mike Williams contacted you recently and said you'd be open to meeting with me. Thank you. I'm a recent graduate at blah, blah university, exploring a career in engineering. And when I mentioned this to Mike, he immediately said, oh, you need to talk to Sarah. She works with engineers all the time, or she's doing great work at this company. When would be a good time for us to meet? Dates, times. I'm happy to work around your schedule and can come to meet you in person. If that doesn't work for you, we could also do phone or Zoom. I know your time is valuable, so it will only take 30 minutes. I'd love to interview you to learn about your career journey, the work you're doing, how you got into engineering, and what you've learned along the way, or any advice you have. Looking forward to meet you. Gratefully, then you sign your name and put your phone number. Put your phone number there because they might want to call you or text you. You never know. Notice what this does. You've name dropped the mutual connection who referred you in the subject line, reminding them that they told their friend, who's your neighbor, that they agreed to meet you. You've complimented their work. You've made it clear that you're not asking about a job. You're not asking them to give you a job. You're asking to interview them about their career, their experience, so you can learn about the industry, and they'll get it. They were young once too, graduated from college once too. And you've respected their time by being really specific about how long it's going to be. That's it. Really simple. Here's what I want you to understand. You're not bothering people. You're giving them a gift. This is a mindset thing. You reaching out to people, whether it's through warm outreach or it's cold outreach, you're giving them a gift because most people love talking about their journey and they don't get to do it very often. They don't get to share their story very often. And that's why this strategy works so well. Think about it. They remember when they were starting out too. Someone helped them maybe. They'll want to pay it forward, especially if it comes with a warm introduction, like through a referral. Now, you might be thinking, well, Warren, this is great. So I know how to do warm outreach and cold outreach and all these different ways to get the meeting, especially warm outreach. But what do I do when I get the meeting? What do I say? What do I ask? That's what I'm going to cover in the next video. I call them reverse interviews. By the way, if you're liking these videos and you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe you don't want to subscribe. If you could just click the like button, that'd be awesome. It'll help other people find us, and you know the deal, algorithm, right? So here's your homework. I want you to send one outreach message this week, just one. And if you want the complete outreach framework, like including these templates, scripts for different scenarios or follow-up sequences, go take the job search strategy quiz. If you take the quiz, not only will it score and look at your job search strategy, it'll tell you what's missing, what you're doing well, and what you're not doing well, right? What you need to work on. And it'll offer you a chance to book a free call with me. We'll go over your quiz results, and we can go over your outreach methods that you're using. Let's get to work. I'll see you in the next video.